unanimous ting. Casual fans on the analyst ting, but it ain't KG and Travis's ting. That's undefeated. 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 Undefeated.
Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome to another episode of The Ringside.
Come on, round of applause, dropping bombs for no reason. We are here. All right, the applause took long still. That was a long applause. It was longer than I expected, but it is what it is. Travis, talk to me, man. Let's go.
So this is The Ringside, right? This is where we speak to guys that we imagine would be ringside at the big fights.
Yep.
Yeah?
These are the big ballers in the industry. These are the guys that a tax man is looking for. No, I'm lying. But yeah, these are the guys, ringside, fur jackets on, let's go. But Travis, talk to me.
What's your tail of the tape, bro?
Gee, I'm
man. 5'8", Blackburn. 71 inches, probably not, to be honest. Lab at the Apollo, man like Mobeen.
Come on.
The Tez O Clock show. An uncle to 7 kids.
Oh,
Come on. Full-time uncle in the house.
You know what's so crazy?
That is jokes.
We're not changing that, you know. Usually we start with our tail of the tapes and that, but when he started saying full-time uncle and all this other stuff, we said, you know what? Let's let it be known.
He said Uncle Blackburn.
I was trying to make it longer, innit?
Nah, that's good, because you know the best fighters, yeah? The best fighters have the longest names, the longest, used to be holder of the IBO, holder of the WB, you know what I mean? So you kind of want yours to sound good. When it comes to mine, I'm just 0-0, bruv. But Travis, ask me about my tail of the tape. Let's really do this.
What's your tail of the tape, bro?
G, I'm 0-0. Never fought, never lost. If I did, someone get knocked out. And it's not me. But what's your tail of the tape, Travis?
I'm 2-0, bro.
Talk to me.
2-0 with a 50% knockout rate.
Come on.
Yeah? Half the men that entered the ring with me, they left on their backs.
That's what they did.
Come on.
All right. So we're here now. Tez, welcome to Ringside.
Thank you, bro.
The first question I need to ask you, bro, is I want you to cast your mind back to school days. Yeah? You can either tell us about a fight that you won or a fight you lost. It's up to you. Go ahead.
There's 2 fights I distinctly remember, and I've got a 50% record. So one I won in the school, that probably in the corridors.
Yeah.
One of them ones there.
Yeah.
The one that I lost, I'll tell you about that one. It was after mosque. So we used to go after school. We used to go to mosque to mosque classes to learn all that. And then afterwards, I got into a fight. Like these 2 kids got into a fight, and then the fight was over quick. So then they were like, "Oh, we need someone else to fight." And then I was like, "I'll fight." Why I volunteered myself? I don't know, bruv. Man just sacrificed himself on the altar. Like for the. You know, I was an entertainer from back in the day where I was like, I'll do it for the people. I'll entertain the people.
So wait, you're telling me right now there was no animosity. There was
no beef.
There was
no beef. And then who wants to fight? I didn't even know the opponent. Who wants to fight?
Wait. And hold on. Is this before
Man, just sign up.
I need to understand, son. Is this before prayer or after prayer? Please let me
This is after. So this is post mosque class. So this is like, so there's a beef in the mosque class, and so there's a fight planned. That fight finished quick. It was like a Tyson in '87. It was over quickly.
What?
And then everyone was like, we haven't really got value for our money in it here. So it was like, we need an overcard. So I was like, okay. So I was like, all right, I'll volunteer myself. And I was thinking, yeah, big man in it. When I step up, everyone's gonna step back. Now that everyone else, when I volunteered, everyone was like, oh, yeah, if it's him, yeah, we'll do it. Yeah. And then because I had my cousins there, they were like kind of like, all right, let's handpick this in it because we don't want our cousin to get battered here.
Wait. So they were still trying to protect your record.
Yeah, of course. In this moment, they were like, look, we get what he's an entertainer, right? So we got to protect him. So I volunteered myself going, yeah, I'll do it. And then, so my cousins are there going, all right, but we know, like my cousins know who the hitters are in it. So they like made sure to like keep me clear of those guys. So they picked a guy, and this is very embarrassing for me now. They picked a guy 2 years younger than me.
How old were you?
Like 12, so he was like 10.
Oh, that's mad.
No, but I was a small kid though, innit? I was
but you had puberty going on. He never really had puberty like that.
I hit puberty after uni. Like, I didn't hit puberty. It came with the graduation. It came with that thing in it.
Wait. Man said you had your puberty strength. Wait.
No. I still had my milk teeth. You know, I was a late bloomer. So I was going in with this guy, and this kid, right? He was one of those, you know, those kids you get that just like, they're quiet in it. So you just think they're soft because they're quiet, but they've got that hidden wiry strength that no one knows about because they've never had to showcase it. But this kid, it was embarrassing, bro. He just kept putting me in my back, and I was like, in my head, I was like, what is? I was like, no, I get this one. All right, this one. It was like, bro, it's embarrassing. It wasn't like he didn't like punch me so much as like kept wrestling me to the ground and then like stomping on me, then stomping on my back. But he wasn't that strong in it. It didn't really hurt that much. It wasn't like I didn't come out of that fight with a lot of pain, but a couple of bruises and it was very embarrassing.
My pride.
Yeah,
the families, everyone's seen that.
Nah, but what I can't get over is the fact that everybody chose someone who they thought, you'd be able to beat him up.
Yeah, because they were like, because they knew they're like, it's not like I'm gonna like cause him too much damage. Yeah. But it was like, he'll win the fight and then be like, you know, our cousin and that smashed it. No.
Oh man, he had that early bar, man. He had so much promise as well, but it is
You know what though? I see that kid now occasionally, and it's kind of hench, you know. So I don't feel even that bad about it.
See what it was that dormant strength that he had that you weren't ready for. That's all it was. But
you know what it was. You know what? Now we can give you even more praise than that. You know when Floyd lost to Canelo. Sorry, when Floyd beat Canelo.
I was going to say, when did that happen?
When Canelo lost to Floyd and then went on to become great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I think because before that, I was 1-0. Like, I'd had that fight in the corridor came before that. So I was a bit confident in my takedown abilities. Like, this kid, I'd put him in a headlock, twisted him round, and I was striking him in the head, and then he all got pulled off. So it was like a quick fight, but, like, it was clear who won that fight. So I was a bit confident going in. And that's a
controversial win though. Like you got the headlock going and then it got broken up.
Yeah, and then I was digging him in though. And he didn't want it after that.
And Travis, headlocks counted. I'm grappling.
All right, cool.
Grappling
cool.
counts. All right, cool. So the next part of this show, just because I like the way you started, we're gonna do quick fire. Yeah. Now you got to answer like. Whatever you feel like, so don't. Soon as the name comes up, take the name, whatever one that. So let's mess around. Mike Tyson or Frank Bruno?
Tyson.
There you go. But yeah.
There you
go.
Cool.
All right, Travis, hit him with it.
Amir Khan, Kell Brook.
Amir Khan.
You know what's funny in that? He could tell his mind. It told him, I say the right thing, say the right thing.
You see the smile? The smile.
I don't even know if I believe it anymore. But I can't do my boy like that.
I knew it. Go on, carry on, Travis. You
Chris Eubank, Nigel Benn.
Eubank.
Joe Calzaghe, Prince Nazim.
Prince, man, obviously. Hang on, are we saying in a fight? Because I'll take that back.
No, just
just choosing. Just name.
Oh yeah. Prince. No, Prince. Prince is the one who got me interested in fighting.
Oh, for real?
Really? Let's talk.
Yeah, man. Because remember, like, even though he's Yemeni, he looks Asian in it. So when I was growing up, we just thought he was he is one of us, but we thought he was Pakistani. And the way his flamboyancy, he's like, he used to come in going Allahu Akbar, all that, but we never seen anything like it. Yeah. And he was sick.
Yeah.
And there was no tech. Like, it looked like he didn't care about the sport. Like it was like he was disrespecting everyone every time he came in the ring. It was almost like he had kind of that wrestler's attitude, that WWF attitude in the boxing ring. And we were big WWF fans back in the day, innit? So, no, Prince is my guy, man.
Wow. No, I hear that, man. I remember when Prince, I was such a massive fan of Prince. Him and Eubank, those were my guys back then. And you know what's mad? I only just found out he was from Yemen, like, a month ago. Not even lying.
Yeah.
Even when you're not talking, I had to like check you. I was like, bro, I swear down, this from Yemen, bro.
So are you still interested in the Amir Khan and Kell Brook fight?
I think I still want to see it for closure. Like I need closure on that fight, and I think the thing about Amir is like win, lose or draw, it's always entertaining.
Yes.
And so I'll give him that. Like it's never gonna be like there's a couple of fights I can remember like when he was kind of doing well, where it was like he danced around the ring and technically, you know, like that's a nice like a proper shutout.
Yeah.
He did have that in him a couple of times, but over the last like kind of 5-6 years, bro, every time he just gone in, it's a fucking tear up.
That's it.
And it's just fun.
It's because he takes these risky fights.
And also he doesn't have a boxing brain.
No, he's a street fighter at heart.
And also for all his hand speed, this is when I was watching Amir Khan. I realized that there's two different types of speed in it. There's hand speed and footwork, which he has, but then there's reflexes, which he doesn't have.
Yeah.
They can't get his head out of the way of a fucking punch, bruv. Like,
no, he gets brave. I think he gets into a fight and he says in the first 2 rounds he'd be like, you know, I might try and box. I'm gonna look quick. Then he says, you know what? Forget everything I've learned. Let's go. It's like when someone comes to do stand up and he just says, you know what? I've written a set, but it's time to freestyle. Literally, and that's him. So yeah, I've kind of had enough. I'm one of those guys that I just want Kell Brook to end it, like to finish it. So I won't be supporting Amir Khan on that night, and I got a feeling that he doesn't actually want to turn up to that night because he's been ducking him forever. But that's just me.
I think it started off as because Amir Khan was the bigger draw. Like, maybe now it's more of a 50-50 thing. But you know, previously when they were trying to do it, Amir Khan was the bigger draw in it. But I think that because there was genuine beef. Yeah, I think Amir didn't want to give him the payday. I think that's part of it as well.
But also, I think he was scared because the type of fights that Kell Brook was having, like even if he lost, he still put on such an account of himself. You think Amir Khan's not going to be able to knock him out. He's not going to be able to do anything, and at some point he'll tag him.
Yeah, because he doesn't have that knockout. Like, he smothers people in it, and he gets by like on like 15, 20 punches, and the guy's overwhelmed and stuff. But he doesn't have that one knockout punch. Like, he doesn't have that kind of thing in it.
Don't you hate this thing about you don't want to give this person a payday? Every time I hear that, it kind of irks me because you're getting paid too. Like, it
irks me as well. Like, I feel like I wanted to have seen the fight, and even now I still have interest in it in the same way you got interest when you're driving past a road accident, and you're like, hey, what's happened there?
And then you get pissed off at everyone driving slow until it's your turn, boy.
And then you're like, oh, I get it. I'll get the fucking phone out.
All right.
How do you feel boxing is doing, right, compared to UFC? Because I know you're a UFC fan as well, isn't it?
A little bit. I've kind of been kicking and screaming. I've been dragged to UFC, and then you watch and you're like, actually, it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
It pisses me off, man, because I know the reason why people love the UFC, and it's like boxing can't even compete, bro. Because when the champs are constantly fighting champs,
consistently. Do you reckon Conor McGregor would never have those losses in boxing because the fight would never happen?
Yeah. And also, like, there's a thing in UFC. It's a tear up, innit? Like, there's very few fights that you see that are super technical. Some of the wrestlers do, but it's always at some point in the fight, it's always going to be a tear up. You can watch 5 boxing matches in a row, and they're all just technical. Like, they're kind of doing the clinching, and then they kind of, if you watch Floyd's highlight reel is amazing, but he's not the fight. If you want to get a neutral excited about boxing, Floyd's not the guy you want to probably be like, watch this guy's 10 fights in it.
Yeah.
Whereas UFC, you could get anyone casually and be like, just watch this one fight, and they're like, yeah, sick, that's sick. So I get it. They're constantly fighting each other, and there's no like 4 different fucking championship belts that you can fight for, and people getting stripped and all that sort of stuff. So it's cleaner, innit?
Yeah. You know what's mad though? Because like with boxing looks so easy sometimes. Like you watch certain people fight, you think, man, I could box. Like everyone can. But UFC, I just never feel like that. Like when them men get to the floor and they get into their submission bag, nah, I'm not interested, bro.
Oh yeah, the one when they're on the floor and they're doing that.
Yeah, the ground and pound.
Bro,
nothing.
Anyone that decides that this part of the body is a weapon,
listen, and it's where they go.
So it's violent, but again, because as a Nigerian man, there's a lot of like Nigerians are getting good at UFC. Now it's actually expectation. You know, like be an accountant, be this, do UFC. You know what I mean? Now, like this wasn't even expect this. They didn't want this from us before, but now they want us to be in the octagon, fam. I have no interest in starting.
No, of course. Of course. Why would you? So there's Israel and there's Usman. Is there anyone else that I should be looking out for?
No. Those are the only ones that African parents care about at the moment.
That's enough.
Yeah. There probably is, but no parents has put him in my WhatsApp group yet. Usually, they put the person in with the salary they just recently received.
Oh yeah. End of year salary figures.
And they just like, so what is happening? Do you know what I mean?
You're a big guy.
Hey Tez, obviously now we're in a different era when it comes to boxing, right? You got YouTube boxing, celebrity boxing. Would you get into the mix? And if you was, who would be the guy that you'd be like calling out?
He's gonna call out that guy again.
What? Like Faisal in it down the road. And the thing is, like, because he's cutting it, and because I'm like quite he's quite hench, like he's short about my size, but he's quite hench, and because I've been piling on the pounds because of lockdown, we'd probably be in the same weight category, so the fight could probably get made, and it'd be legit, it'd be ethical.
What's his name?
Faisal.
Tez Faisal too.
Faisal, big up Faisal Murban from Newbank Road, Blackburn.
So what you saying? Which celebrity would you call out? Who are you going for?
Bro, I think not because I hate him or anything, but like now, like the ego is such you don't want to lose in it. So I'm thinking just for like the win, and like I think he'll bring a lot of eyes to the fight, and because I think I've got a really good chance, Jack Whitehall.
Come on. You know
just because I think I can. As a fight, I can win in it. Although to be fair to me, he'll have access to some fucking hardcore trainers in it.
Yeah. Because I was gonna ask you, how do you see that fight going, bro? Because obviously there's a height, there's definitely a reach difference.
He's got height on you.
He's got height on you. You probably have a longer reach. But what
you have to get that Tyson head movement.
Yeah. No, I've got good reflexes.
Now I really want to see this fight. This is so.
Like I reckon I'm probably pound for pound top 10 in the world for this move. That one. It's that one. Yeah, you put me against anyone, bro. That little, you probably can't even see it because it's so
Top 10 pound for pound for this move.
in the world. Not even in comedy, in the world. Including pro fighters.
Wait, even in the game. Talk to us about your journey within like in the game, because we've seen what was your route into comedy?
So I came down because obviously I'm from Blackburn in the Lancashire up north, and so I came to London for work, and I was working in the office one day, and I just thought to myself, I just need a hobby in it. So I started looking for like writing workshops, and I came across a stand-up workshop, and I'd love stand-up, but I'd never considered that was something I could do, because where I come from, like, it's like in London you see it in it. Even if you're from ends, you see that there's roots to it, access to it, or whatever. There was none of that in Blackburn. Even if you told me become a comedian, I'd be like, what? Just become an astronaut? Like, how do you do that? So when I come across a stand-up workshop, I thought, my friends tell me I'm funny, maybe I'll give it a go. So it was like 1 day a week for 6 weeks, and it got me into writing and stuff. Like, these things don't teach you how to be funny, but they give you a few mechanics in it and a few like it's basically like a helping hand. So at the end of it, it was a showcase where everyone who was on this little workshop invited their friends, and you do your first ever gig in front of them. And then from there, bro, I just found the mainstream like open mic circuit. I just started going from like 1 night a week to like 3-4 nights a week, and then just started progressing. And then Edinburgh happened, and there was a few more eyes on me, then a radio show, and then slowly but surely bits and bits of TV. Then I did Man Like Mobeen, that got more eyes on me. Then Lava the Apollo came, then Tez O Clock show. So like every single year I could see there was a bit of progress, and because I could see that from early, like it kept me going and it kept me motivated.
Yes. Yeah, of course. So
like, even in them open mic days, like it was always like people like in them competitions that like I was doing well in them early on, so that kept me motivated. Going, okay, that was kind of justifying me like doing this 3-4 nights a week. Because when I deeped it was a bit mad, because I was like, I don't drink, and I'm spending like 3-4 nights a week in pubs across London, trying to make strangers laugh for no money. Like, it's weird.
Yeah, it's a mad grind, because once you fall in love with it, it's hard to explain to someone who doesn't love it.
Like constantly chasing the dragon, innit?
Yeah. Do you know what's so funny about? Because I think, Travis, I've never really asked Travis about his route, because he's came up on the same scene as me. Whereas you've gone the traditional route, whereas I kind of dipped my toe in and out. So I started social media early. You know, so then it's like I done my social media thing, then I was doing stand-up, but it's really difficult. So working out, what route would you say now, looking back, what route would you say is the best route?
For me, that was, because I haven't quite figured out the social media thing, innit? So for me, being on stage and doing that was right for me. But I would say a kid now trying to get into it, honestly, like these things, the magic, bro, like magic wands, bro. Like you can just create stuff, and there's so many platforms now, like, and they all do slightly different things. So you got your TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, even Twitter, bro. Like you know, like there's people going like K-Curd and Munya going viral on Twitter and stuff. That brings more eyes on them and stuff. So just create, man, and just like, and if you got friends around, you just get them to film you and stuff, and learn how. Honestly, I think the biggest skill they can teach in schools now is editing, video and audio.
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because every company needs that. Like, whatever company, even if you're a fucking tuck shop that opens once a week,
you need internet presence.
Well, you need internet presence, and you need someone to make your little videos for you, innit? So if you can do that, bro, you are so employable.
Do you know what's so crazy, yeah? With all that they taught us, I've never used a protractor in my entire life. I've never been in a position where the protractor becomes relevant.
Oh, that one, bro, that you put the pencil and the needle in and you go around and draw circles.
Yeah, exactly.
I swear, ain't that the protractor?
No, that's the compass, isn't it?
That's the compass. Yeah, there you go. What's that
Never
one? What's that one then? When you put the pencil in and it goes, you does a round circle.
That's the compass, fam.
That's the compass. Protractor is the shape, in it. The one where you look at the degrees or whatever. Yeah.
I actually meant the compass, bro. I actually meant the compass. Never used it in my entire life.
So, Tez, like, what was it like, coming from your family background and then them finding out you're a comedian? Because it feels like strange for you to get into that world. It must have been mad to hear that your son is now doing it. How did they react?
Yeah. So initially, it was a bit like, what? Why? I think because I was in London and I was living on my own, like flat shares and stuff. I wasn't answerable to anyone. So if I was doing this from Blackburn, and I was like, 3-4 nights a week, I'm disappearing to go to Manchester, Birmingham, Liverpool or whatever, there'd have been a lot more questions asked, and I think a lot more like, nah, what do you think? Even though I was in my 20s or whatever, they've been like, nah, you're not doing that. Because I had no one to answer to, and I was living on my own, I could just go and do it, and I could intermittently keep them up to date. But I remember like having quite a charged conversation with my mum, like 3-4 years in, and she doesn't like stop, but she was like, you got a job, like you got a good job, like, so what is the need? What is the need for this? Why are you doing it? Like, just stop doing it. And so we didn't fall out, but we had a bit of an argument about that. And then I think when I started getting the mainstream credits, when they start hearing like BBC, and I tell you when it changed, bro, when Man Like Mobeen happened, and other people started saying to my mum,
of course,
we really love what your son does, how he's representing us, the things that he's saying, and like when my uncle saw my TED talk and stuff, and they were like, oh, that's how he's rapping us out there, yeah, okay, cool, nice.
Yeah.
My dad's a bit different because my dad's been here since he was 6, so he's very British, and my dad was the black sheep of his generation. So he loves it. Like, he's been super supportive always. Like, he's been to gigs. He was there at Lab of the Apollo and stuff. So but I don't live, like, my parents are divorced in it. So I didn't grow up with my dad. So my mum was always the one that was like, I had to like get the permission off to do stuff.
Sure.
Whereas my dad was always like, my dad was more like a kind of like a mate.
Yeah.
So he's always like, yeah, wicked, yeah, do what you like. Like, be happy. As long as you're happy and stuff, that's cool.
Yeah.
Would you say, what was that experience? Because Live at the Apollo is like a dream for like a lot of comedians. Yeah. How was that for you? What was your, like, you're going to turn up, you're going to be there, you're about to perform. What was that like?
Bro, I trained for that gig like people train for a fight. Like, I treated it like a stand-up special. Like, I treated it like, because they give you, 20-25 minutes and they put it down to like 7-8 minutes. Bro, I beasted that set for like 2 months. Every time I was on stage, I was just doing that set, and I got it to the point. And I was lucky, like the weekend before, I was at the Comedia, so I got to like 5 nights at the Comedia, one of the best clubs in one of the best clubs in the country. So I like, when I got there, I was like, I felt ready. I was like, I have done the work, and this set is fucking tight. It is my best, because I've seen people's sets on there, yeah. And they're like they're lifting 20 minutes from their Edinburgh show.
Thank you.
And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, this is treated like a mini special, innit? Because they're not going to burn all your material anyway. They're only using 7 minutes. So do your best 20. But the fact is, like, if your best joke that you think is going to make on TV is in minute 18, if you're feeding them garbage up to that point, that joke is not going to land the way you want it to. So you got to butter them up.
Yeah.
So that when you get to your big gag, they give it fucking maximum 100%. Because the audience is not an easy gig, because it's free tickets. There's audience on, like, they're not treating it with the respect that they might do if they're paying £20-25 to watch Ramesh or whatever. It's not the same in it. So bro, I treated it like the biggest gig of my life. And like when I went out, I was first one on after the MC. So there's no warm-up act, bro, which is weird for TV.
Bro.
So there's like an MC. So the MC goes out and they're the first person that goes on stage, and that's tough.
Yeah.
Because they have to warm up the crowd and do their set. And it's not like a comedy club where they're already kind of a bit hot and stuff. Like
That's
it's
right.
not. It's not early. It's like 7 o'clock start. They've been queuing since 4 o'clock, so they're already quite tired. And then they go out, and you know what audiences are like. They're like, I wish this person is on. I wish that person is on. But inevitably, in these days, Lava the Apollo gives opportunities to people that they necessarily haven't heard of.
That's right.
So when I walk out, probably 80% of the audience are like, we don't know who this is. But fine, Lava the Apollo, you know, he must be here for a reason. And so you got to give them your best. But if you start giving them your Edinburgh show, bruv, and your feelings and that, bruv, they're going to switch off.
That's your feelings.
It's a mainstream audience, bruv.
Yeah.
Like, give them your jokes.
Yeah. That's interesting, man. Anyway, listen, for the up and comers, you just dropped a lot of jewels. So people are just picking up like, Ross. All right, when I write my next thing, I'm ready. I want to get back into boxing.
Yeah.
Because we spoke about ducking, and I don't know how familiar. Are you familiar with Teofimo Lopez, Haney, and all that?
A little bit.
Okay.
Lopez, is that the guy who beat
Lomachenko.
Yeah, Lomachenko, yeah.
Yeah.
I was upset about that, but the guy brought it though, innit?
Why was you upset?
Just because like Lomachenko's got this legacy around him and this aura in it, and then sometimes I feel a bit bad when that aura gets a bit popped and that. It's like when GGG lost his fucking record to Canelo. I was upset about it. Like, I mean, there were 50-50 fights, but I was still upset about it.
Yeah. It's just the funny thing, because when a fighter is on his way down, it is painful to look at them.
It's hard to watch.
In the same way, you think, oh man, please.
Like Roy Jones, man. Like he.
Oh, bro.
If he retired in 2000,
yeah,
Legacy cemented.
You'd be talking about him with like Floyd. But because he carried on for them fucking 20 years, it's like
useless. Absolutely useless.
How do you see the AJ and Fury fight coming? Like, how do you see that fight going? Because there's a lot of talk, a lot of excitement. Everyone's got their predictions. What do you think?
I can't see AJ beating him. Ooh. I know that's what I was trying to. I'm like, they don't want to hear what I'm gonna say.
You can't
just listen.
The guys, okay. I'm not giving him zero. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying 0%. It's not a 50-50 fight for me though.
Really?
It's not 50-50.
It's not 50-50 for me.
Go talk, bro.
It's for me.
Empty the clip, bro. Don't be scared.
Yeah, no. For me, all right. For me, it's a 70-30 fight in Tyson Fury's favor, because I think the guy is too slick. The guy is a significantly better boxer than AJ. From everything that I've seen, he's a significantly better boxer, and he's slick. That doesn't, like, of course AJ's got a chance because AJ is sick. AJ for me is the number 1 and number 2, but I think there's a gap between the 1 and the 2. And then I think Deontay Wilder's then like a further back number 3.
Yeah.
But
you wouldn't put Dylan. You wouldn't put Dylan above Deontay Wilder, or you still think Dylan's got?
I would love to see the fight, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Tyson Fury had the tools to beat Deontay in it because he's such a superior boxer.
Yes.
Whereas I don't know if everyone else is going to bring that level of skill, because there's other people that might just want to tear up in it.
That's facts.
But I think, don't get me wrong, I think like if AJ won the fight, I'd be mildly surprised. I wouldn't be shocked. But I'd be like, all right, well, I'd be happy. Like, I wouldn't be upset about it. But I think Tyson's from Lancashire as well, isn't it?
See, now we're getting to the root.
Now you know where they.
Well, I'm here.
Listen, and I like them both because they both flirt with Islam a little bit as well. You got Tyson flirting with Islam, you got AJ flirting with Islam. So I'm like, from that perspective, I like both, because it's like Muslims have a legacy in boxing, innit? So from that perspective, like, I like both of them as well, and I'd always want them to win their fights. Always, like, I always support AJ. I always support Tyson. Like, now it's like Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior, innit?
Yeah.
And so it's like, I was always an Ultimate Warrior kid back in the day. So I was, so
you were the Hulkamaniac.
What? Man was giving it the ropes, fam.
Man was giving it that, bro. And he had that face mask, that paint on and stuff.
Nah, but then he used to cut these like nitros. He used to cut these titrons, yeah. And he was chatting shit for the whole time. He, like,
but you didn't know that as a child, though, innit?
You didn't know that, yeah, exactly.
You go back and listen to his promos, and you're like, this guy was on a cocktail of narcotics. Like, what is he?
Gone.
And the parents just let him talk to us. And they, like, at least Hulk Hogan would tell us to drink our milk. You know, tell us to
eat your vitamins and night.
Hulk Hogan. There's some audio tape of Hulk Hogan being mad racist, fam. Like,
I know. It's mad. Like, I think WWE cancelled him for like 5 years, and now they brought him back.
He's back in the room.
Yeah, because everyone forgets
stuff.
We forget racist a minute. Doesn't count.
But like even Tyson runs his mouth sometimes, and I'm like, just bro, shut up, innit?
Yeah.
Like I'm scared that he's just gonna say some racist shit sometimes. Like I'm hoping he doesn't, because I don't think that's him. But you know, like some people just speak carelessly, and I feel like he's got that in him.
Tez, you know, you make a great point, because every time I'm in a black cab, yeah, I'm like, please. You know when the drive's getting well, and you're like, oh, please don't say something.
Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it.
Just let me get home. And I try to keep it very subtle. Don't go into big matters. Yeah, but someone will bring something up and like, oh,
you know what I hate? It's when somebody like a Marcus Rashford or something will come up and they'll be like, I can't stand him. I don't know what it is. It's just something about him. You think,
this one easy life, innit? You're like, yeah.
I'm almost there.
Stick to football, innit?
Like, it's the first exit and I'll be home. Like, please. Like, yeah.
These men who always like, stick to football, stick to this. You're a taxi driver. Stick to taxi driving, innit? Like, why are you allowed to give your opinion then? If they're not allowed to give their opinion.
Why do you think your takes are valuable then, bro? Oh, mate.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, I'm upset. I think Tyson will win, and if I'm being truthfully honest, I would probably marginally be supporting Tyson, but I wouldn't be upset if AJ won, and like I wouldn't even like I would be mildly surprised.
So it's just win-win.
So you won't tweet? Yeah. You're gonna tweet, yo, my bro AJ, if he wins, or you gonna?
Obviously, I like him. I'd be like, yeah, Nigerian King AJ, come on.
I took a picture with AJ mad years ago. We both look completely different, but best believe when he wins that, I'm posting it.
Bro, I'd be like, come on, my guy.
No, I always feel nervous about that because Daniel Kaluuya, he's having a great time at the moment. And I took a picture of him a while ago, and that's like some time ago. Like, but he didn't have facial hair in this picture. I feel a bit wild posting it because I want to be like, yep, my brother. But you need to, sometimes you got to let it go, innit? You got to let them be great. So even when I believe that AJ's going to win that fight. I do feel AJ's going to win it. I don't think it's 60. Well, you said it was 60 what?
I think it's 70-30.
Very disrespectful odds.
That is a mad odd, you know. It's borderline disrespect. I don't think you can even message AJ and say Nigerian King.
Tez, let me ask you a question, yeah? If someone said to you, look, mate, doing a gig tonight, we're going to pay you £750 cash in your hand, like, you come down, just to let you know before you leave your house, there's a 30% chance you're going to get paid, but it should be okay. Are you going to go?
30% chance I'm going to get paid?
Yes.
What? No.
Then that's how disrespectful you're on top of AJ, bro.
Oh shit! Now he said it like that.
No, it's too late.
Yeah, but I wouldn't go if he said it's 50-50 either. I was like, what do you mean it's 50-50? I'm gonna get paid. What do you mean?
I don't even want to start talking about the Comedy Store and how they'll say to you, listen, nah, let's not even get into it. I don't even.
No, let's not.
I'm not getting into it. But
you will have to go back to work soon.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's not even get into it. But listen, I've loved it, man. We literally love having you, and you're always welcome. You're always welcome.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah,
appreciate that, man.
So, when we have if there's a big special fight, we're trying to do these things to watch along. So it'll be great to have you come and sit down and watch.
So I'll be there for the AJ Tyson Fury watch along if there's space for one, because like, you know, you like 99 AJ fans. I feel like you need a space for that one.
We'll have you.
I'd be the climate denier. Like, you know, the like climate change is not real. I'd be the one Tyson Fury fan, innit?
Yeah. No, do you know what's crazy? Yeah, I'm the actual Tyson Fury fan of the pod. Yeah, but then because Travis is so hardcore AJ, I have to almost I have to back Fury at times because he's ridiculous. When it comes, like, he's angry. Do you know how hard? If you go back, watch his back and watch his face when you say 70-30, he is seething.
No, sorry. Did you not see how quiet I was before I said? Because I was like, oh, they're gonna hate. Like Travis especially is gonna hate this answer. But I'm conscious that this is gonna get clipped up, so I've got to.
It's too late.
I've got to say it in my chest, innit? I'm like. But now I'm scared, like, I'm going to say this, and then Tyson's going to say some fucking wild shit.
And there's going to be you.
In like 2 weeks' time. And I'm like, Tyson's my boy! Tyson's my boy!
And you know what's nuts, yeah? When he says something mad, we're going to clickbait and clip that so mad. We'll be like, yeah, Tyson Fury likes Islam, he plays it. And he's like, he's my boy. And let it go.
Like the shirt!
Oh, man.
No, but bro, seriously, thank you for spending this time with us.
Appreciate that, bro. Can I do a little plug?
Of course,
go for it, man.
Thank you. So I've written a book over lockdown. I've kept myself a little bit busy, and I've written a book called The Secret Diary of a British Muslim, aged 13 3/4.
Come on.
And it's about my teenage years growing up in Blackburn. Fortunately for me, the Faisal May bonfire happened just before I was 13, so that doesn't quite make the cut in this book. But like, it's a fun read. It's a bit touching because, you know, when you go into anyone's lives at that age, there's always stuff that happened. You're like, I didn't realize and stuff. So there's some stories like that, but I can't wait for people to read it. It's out on April the 8th, which is my birthday.
Let's go.
And it's available to pre-order now. And I'm also going to do the audio reading of it as well, so it should be really, really fun. So yeah, that's my book coming out on the 8th of April.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Listen, all the best and big up with the book release. What we'll try and do is we'll try and make sure people we'll clip it in as you said it. Yeah. So listen, all the best. Thank you for being here. I'm going to ring the bell. Yo, people, thanks for watching the Undefeated Podcast. Make sure you
like, subscribe, share, leave a comment and all that good stuff. Make sure and come back, bruv. Tell a friend, tell your grandma, tell your dad, tell everyone, tell your cousins. Let's go.